But I still, in the international market, whenever somebody talks about cotton, he only talks about Pakistan and Egypt as the source. That's what I understand. India comes in the lower segment. I mean, not that our cotton is not useful, but in terms of availability of cotton. So, whether the technology, I'm just trying to take a clue that going forward in next 15, 20 years, just as in certain areas of industry, the technology gap is reducing. Here in agro-based products also, the different types of soil, different types of climate, different types of water will narrow in terms of the quality of the.
Yeah, definitely. Cotton is affected by 4 major bollworms. Some almost that problem is resolved now. Particularly this American bollworm and spotted bollworm and pink bollworm.
Okay, one question is, do you see reclaim the land as a business? 2040, is there a possibility of
What
making
can
it?
happen is, reclaimed land can be used for residential or official
No.
purpose, and
I'm just
the
saying,
land
even
is-
to convert into a farm. See, today there is so much of land in the world. Only 20% of the land is used for agriculture.
There is
Rest
lots
of
of
the
land in other
80%
sectors.
surface is non. It's just like
Including the land will be more expensive for agro. Commercial and residential.
Some of the things are possible even with simple implementation. I'll give you one micro example of a social service project in which I am involved in Chota Uday. Now in Chota Uday, it's a Katara village which is at the confluence of Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. This Chota Uday receives about 40 to 45 inches of rain, slightly more than what Baroda receives. But the topography of the farmlands available there, and the farmlands, because of the government restriction that you can't buy the property
Of an Adivasi.
Also, the farm size is also reasonably large. Let me tell you, in 67 acres of land that we selected, 32 hectares of land required a very simple intervention of just labeling them. What was previously relatively almost a wasteland, with simple intervention, we converted into an arable land. This happened 2 years back, and if you want to see it, I'll take you there. And there, this Adivasi tribal, they are hardworking, they never knew. And then we taught them how to do the gully plugs and bordering of the farms. So water conservation has improved, soil moisture has improved. Now they are able to take 3 crops, and I can show you. Someday I'll show you the video. What I'm trying to tell you is that that is also land reclaiming or conversion of previously quasi wasteland into an arable land. So that kind of opportunities will come as the population increases. From currently we are 6 billion on this planet. It is set to grow in 2050 to 10 billion.
you should not look at India.
You
should look at Australia. You can buy square miles.
Even in Africa, there are a lot of people buying land.
Africa is a different animal to deal with politically and safety wise. But if you can really go to Australia,
But Africa will change
Can
in
that happen?
2040.
Yes, yes.
How do we know?
Africa will change in 2040. What is saying that
Yeah.
you really need to see where the land is available and where the problem is, and do you really have ability to do that? Somebody is going to do that now, and particularly where the value addition of food will come in terms of quality or in terms of this. Now,
The population growth from 7 to 10 billion people is essentially 2% increase per annum.
for agriculture is enough to feed.
So is there a large enough market other than quality?
No, that's why I'm saying that you are
Reclaimed land, why?
No, reclaimed land is not only to grow food, but a lot of other stuff. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Agriculture is not
agriculture
about cereals. See, like in India, the consumption of cereals is going down. And this is what will happen on a global basis. So cereals will go down. People will produce more meat, okay, more sort of proteins, more of consumptions will go up. So there will be a shift which will happen, and you will have to understand that. But my still feeling is agriculture as a commodity will remain under pressure. It will be cheap. I think it is the quality which will start selling. Because as the aspirational value of the society will go up, a tomato and the tomato, that A and that D, that's where the difference can come 5 times, 10 times. And it is that ability to grow that D tomato is going to make a difference. You know, what is the sweetness index, what is the quality, how you feel it, how it tastes on your mouth. Suppose you are serving a restaurant and you are making a salad. If that salad is going to taste that fresh, I think that's where the whole, commerce will evolve. Now, who delivers that, how it is delivered, that's a area of concern. But I think a clue can be taken from the Japanese initiative that the entire thing, if it is run flawlessly by computers and robotics, without an absolutely controlled condition, your ability to reproduce every time will increase.
They go from quality benchmarking, like when they make the equal shape, square, rectangular watermelons.
Yeah.
That is quality benchmarking. Millions of them, but exactly the same. If one is not sweet, 10,000 will not be sweet. If one is sweet, all 10,000 will be sweet.
But the only question is, what does it take to build those technologies to produce them? And that's where you will have to struggle. That's where you will have to struggle.
But my question is, the ones that were recently made, the square or the cubical watermelons, how well were they actually accepted by the society? Do you think they would? Because for example, in India, right now, like when you talk, like okay, everyone's inclined towards organic farming, but the minute you even use the word fertilizer, like hey, we want something which is natural. We are happy with what we have. We don't want to experiment with. The first impression they have is chemicals. So today, I think that's where everyone is moving towards. They're sticking to the basics. And of course, we're talking about genetically modifying vegetables, fruits. But is it what the demand? Is it what the people are demanding, or are people demanding something very different? Therefore, of course, my perspective is.
I'd like to give you a different angle to what you're talking about. Let us just suppose that this square or rectangle watermelon was created so that we could transport more watermelons in a truck into a factory which is going to cut the skin off and give you packaged watermelon or watermelon juice. So the idea was not to give a unique shape to the customer because he is never going to take that home to cut it. It is to go to a factory and that is the reason. So we are looking at it differently. So unless all of us start thinking differently, and if we are going to wait for the consumer mindset to change to create the demand, we've lost the battle. I think we should have the ability to change that mindset with our product because we are going to be superior.
What is the market like for cut fruits in America now? What do we see? Huge. The taste is okay or not bad? It's bad. A lot of people buy.
Everybody.
Quality is really good.
Cut fruits? Yeah.
But it comes with an expiry date of 1 day.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
So actually it is done more by the grocery stores rather than the sort of bulk food vendors.
So there the shape could be important.
Of course,
Because then cutting becomes more organized.
More organized.
You have the same
Our
shape.
discussion is for 2040.
So 2014, if you want,
They want quality. Quality has to be benchmark if you want mass production.
But from a business perspective, if you look at historically, farm produce per se, without the value-added items, have the least favorable terms of trade in the world. You see historically, except for the period between 2006 to 2009, when food prices all over the world shot up like never before. Otherwise, food produce per se, their realization is always going to be less vis-a-vis, other items of consumption by human beings. Now, whether in 2040, in going forward in next 20 years, farm produce itself with all these modifications and other things will fetch better returns, because ultimately you are all going to be, analyzing from the perspective of whether it makes a good business sense. So whether farm produce per se or any kind of farming, any kind of modifications, any kind of disruptive technology will ultimately lead you to a business which can be scaled up, which can give you more returns and all those things, or you will have to constantly look for value-added items, fed, like for example organic farming. Somebody said, I can tell you 8 out of 10 guys who go and buy this organic product, at least in our state, they don't know about what is organic.
It's not,
Also fair.
it's not truly organic.
What I'm saying is fad also works.
Organic, but it's not truly organic.
In this world of optics, the fad also works. And that also, the fact that you appeal to the psychology of the people and make them to look at it from the point of view of a one good fad and a feel good factor, like a placebo factor, that also makes a business sense.
Right.
Let's accept the fact, that's a business sense. We are not here to analyze whether what is right or what is wrong or something. At the end of the day, it should make a business sense.
Let's put a question mark to all of you. Can food as a whole business be eliminated? Can you disrupt that? You don't need food to eat food.
You have the
You can have an energy bill.
I'm just asking you,
Replace the food.
can you actually start thinking that food is not required? Can you disrupt that whole business? It's a big business. Yeah, it's a big business. So can you actually say that you don't need food anymore?
See, like when I was in uni, there was my friends from mechatronics. They were researching in their 3D printing was relatively new-ish. So there's a company called Stratasys. And my friends, they were I think MPhil or PhDs, to manufacture 3D printed foods. So with nutritive some indexing or whatever. At that time they were playing with ascorbic acid, vitamin C. So they were printing layers of actually edible something that tastes like lemon. And it was made from I think fibers of cellulose or something. And you can actually eat it and you will get that required nutrition. That's good. 2040 में कुछ something by more will develop and print an apple.
I'm saying, can you disrupt that whole food industry that you really don't need that?
Translate into food becoming a luxury item rather than a necessity.
Right.
You still would want to go to a restaurant. You still would want to
For the
Go to a
food,
restaurant for the taste.
it's a taste. But on daily basis,
Not
you would
for
just have a
sustainability.
pill.
not for sustainability.
Now the question is, food taste and aroma is directly related. Where do you see those converging in 2040? What is it going to take really to satisfy the need of a consumer who is really looking for that experience? He's actually not interested in eating. One part is eating, one part is experience.
So
So if we really break the commerce into a business, saying that what is the actual customer looking for?
So two different, just two completely opposite, I would say segments. One, of course, what we were discussing for the food pills, which you just have it and use with the nutrients. So that you have on daily basis. For the recreational or for the luxury food item, there's a new concept which I think most of us know about molecular gastronomy. I think that is going to replace the fine dining experience in the future. The reason being that it will become more mechanized. All the chefs will probably be replaced by engineers. If you need probably say 10 chefs in one restaurant, in the future you might need just 2 engineers. Yes, those 10 chefs. I think even that's one model. And again, with the technology that we are talking about, or the technology that's actually coming up, I think that's a huge future, probably a big business can be worked out where the way you have McDonald's or Burger King, you can have a molecular gastronomy fine dine restaurant, where in fact the food can be even cheaper than a McDonald's, but it can give you the fine dine. So from a restaurateur, I think that's, I mean, I definitely see some scope in that segment as well. Of course, very opposite to the food bills that we have, but
Does anybody see sensor technology to soils, to what kind of, like the biology exists, what kind of odors are produced, and how that affects the taste? Is that something thinkable? We do our chemical engineering, gas sensing technology, so much is available now. You plot 25 years from now, and actually can you sense the, quality of biology which is existing in the soil, which can be sensed, which can be then modified, which can be then personalized, so that these taste issues, the aroma issues can start.
Sensor technology is there, but for taste and quality, yeah, that I'm not sure. But
25 years? Where are you taking the commerce? The question is, where are you hitting the commerce with?
No, but I'm sure, doctor, there would be something available like this pregnancy test where you take a drop of urine and put it onto the table and it shows red or green or whatever. So you put some water into the soil, take some water from there, put it into a piece of paper and it will start showing you how much micronutrient content is there automatically.
But what I have been reading is that biology produces a lot of aromas, and that is how they communicate with the plant. If you really see, like ethylene, when the biology produces ethylene, the plant knows that now it is time for it to sort of stop. So there is a lot of what we will call as the gaseous phase related to biology to, again at the end, what nutrients are going at what concentration they are going, how that is happening. But anybody sees a big business in that?
see, we are working with one customer who manufactured drones. So we manufacture the propulsion system for them. And this was for Mexico. Not in the plantation, because they are huge plantations, where they will grow agave. And there the drones they have sensors which sense some, it was mainly for standardization and evenness across the whole farm. That I think it was not directly related to soil technology, but mainly the terrain and all that. But I'm sure sensors can be used for getting more information from soil technology.
Where all sensors can be used in agro? Any other product? Where all computers?
moisture sensors, particularly soil, measure the soil moisture, soil pH.
plugging the right foods or the right
I think the
vegetables.
sensors can be used for viruses to detection of
Particularly in Israel, there is a lot of farming is done through this all biosensors.
because they will,
What type of
affect the product,
Particularly the critical time of irrigation, so automatically start the drippers and they irrigate the particular land. They sense the particular
happening today. My question is, how do you see in the 25 years? What type of sensing you would like to do to boost?
Maybe to sense the micronutrients within the soil, because that's what allows the roots, I'm not an expert, to absorb water, nutrition, or maybe nitrogen fixating.
It assumes that significance because now that the climate change mostly in adverse way affecting many different parts of the planet is already upon us. So, in 2040, as Doctor says, the agriculture cultivation methods, the type of soils that will be required to cope with certain changes in the climatic pattern, including the rainfall and opposite. Now, for example, in last 10 years, what I have seen is that in have got the rainfall ranging from 35 to 45 inches, but the number of rainy days, if somebody has observed, over the years are reducing. So that kind of climatic changes also the agriculture sector will have to cope with, because that will be one of the biggest directly affected sector. I think that is also something.
So we need more temperature resilient.
Whatever it is.
One area I'm asking is cognitive intelligence is starting to develop. We used to see, at least I saw my mother, she had that intuitive capability of putting two and two together. She would cook anything out of anything and it would taste great. Now the question is, today there are so